Good morning. Let's start the Delhi current affair discussion. The first topic that we take today is extension of APSA, Armed Forces Special Power Act, in the violent raid in Manipur. Recently, the Manipur government extended the imposition of the Armed Forces Special Power Act in Hill District for 6 more months. It is in operation in Manipur and it needs extension. The Manipur government decided to extend it in the Hill District for 6 more months. Since 1981, APSA had been applicable in Manipur, which was a former Union territory that attained statehood in 1972. APSA also existed in the Naga nominated area of the erstwhile Union territory Manipur since 1958. Fine. Since APSA was formulated by the Parliament of India, it is in operation in Manipur when it was an union territory. When it get the statehood status, then also it is continuing there. Since 2022, APSA has been gradually withdrawn from the valley districts, which are dominated by the Meitei community, due to a significant improvement in the security situation. Yes, sir. Class class good day, brother. Good day, Pankaj. Good day, call. Fine. So, since 2022, APSA had been gradually withdrawn from the valley district, which are dominated by the Meitei community. The valley is comparatively peaceful, okay, and other security situation in the valley districts remain peaceful. So, the Armed Forces Special Power Act has been gradually withdrawn from the that part of Manipur, the valley district of Manipur. But from the hill districts, they are in operation and the cookies are in majority. The rationale behind the extension, the state government stated that it opted for the status quo in the light of the prevailing law and order situation in the state. Status quo or APSA. That means as APSA is in operation, as it is in operation, that same status quo is to be maintained for another 6 months. It is applicable for 6 months, following which it can be periodically extended by the Union Ministry of Home Affairs after assessing the situation in Manipur. One district, one force. The state government is now ruling a one district, one force deployment of security forces for better operations. Other than the state police, around 40,000 central security forces, including the army, have been deployed in the state because in the recent past it is going through unprecedented violence. That is why, apart from the state forces, so 40,000 central security forces, including the army, it's very important, including the army, has been deployed in the state of Manipur. Unrest in Manipur, region of unrest has been brewing among the hill tribes of the state for a number of reasons. A major reason for the discontent has been the state government's notice since August 2022, claiming that 30 villages in the Charuchandrapur Khopum protected forest area in the Charuchandrapur and Noni districts are illegal settlement and its residents are encroachers. Okay, that means they encroach over the area, which is not legitimate. Following this, the government set out an eviction drive, which resulted in the class. Because As per the government notification, these areas are encroached by outsiders. The government decided to make this area encroach free and just remove the people who have settled over there and claiming that they are illegal settlement and its residents are encroachers. Following this, the government set out on an eviction drive, which resulted in the classes, means evicted them from the illegal encroachment. At least 175 people have been killed since ethnic violence between the majority Meiti and the tribal Kuki people erupted in the state. Okay, 175 people have been killed officially, and much more may be the figure if it goes unofficial. Tribal Solidarity March. March was called to oppose the long-standing demand that the Meiti community be included in the list of state scheduled tribes, which received a boost from the recent order of the Manipur High Court. The Metis are in majority in Manipur. The Kukis are in minority. The Kukis enjoy the tribal status, but the Manipur Assembly passed a resolution granting scheduled tribe status to the Metis. So it was brought before the judiciary, and recently the Manipur High Court had given the order that the Metis should be given the scheduled tribe status. This has again led to the eruption of violence among the Metis and the other tribals. Presence of terror outfit, the insurgent groups mostly operating from Myanmar advocate the secession of Manipur from India that trying to exploit current ethnic unrest in the state. So there are a number of northeastern insurgent groups very much active in many of the northeastern states, and Manipur is not free from their influence. Fine. And they have taken asylum or they have taken shelter in the neighboring Myanmar, okay, where India has conducted surgical strike earlier with active support of the Myanmar government. But still the situation continue and this unlawful element they are able to exploit over the situation. Okay. So, presence of terror outfit, the insurgent groups, mostly operating from Myanmar, advocate the secession of Manipur from India. They are trying to exploit the current ethnic unrest in the state. About the Armed Forces Special Power Act, APSA is in its original form was promulgated by the British in the response to the Quit India movement in 1942. So this is a law which had its roots in the pre-independence period. The British was the India was in British rule. In the 1942 Quit India movement, the Armed Forces Special Power Act was promulgated. But subsequently, on the Armed Forces Special Act enacted in the year 1958, grants extraordinary power and immunity to the armed forces to bring back order in the disturbed area. Okay, so APSA can be clamped only in the, but it can be imposed in the disturbed area. Where? In the disturbed areas. APSA can be imposed in the disturbed area. And who can declare an area as a disturbed area? Only the state government can declare an area as a disturbed area. Okay. Normally, so the here comes the issue of law and order. So law and order is in the state list, not in the union list. So maintenance of law and order of the state is just duty of the state government. But if the state government is unable to maintain law and order, in that case, the state may requisition central forces for this. And here, what happens? APSA, like Act, is clamped. Special Power Act. Okay, 1958. When APSA is clamped, so the army is called for duty to maintain law and order. Okay, before deployment of the armed forces, so first come the police, state police. Then come the central forces or central paramilitary forces. Then come the armed forces to maintain internal law and order. The army is not called at first because first and foremost is the state police responsibility. State police are unable to do it, then the central paramilitary forces are deployed. They are unable to control, then the armed forces, so the army is deployed in the area. This is the situation. So, and before the army is deployed in a particular area, the area must be declared as a disturbed area. That is the precondition. The act came into force in the context of increasing violence in northeastern states decades ago. The state government found difficult to control because the violent situation, the northeastern states were beyond the control of the state government. As the state government were not in a position to control the violence, so the state government requested the central government to deploy its armed forces. And when the armed forces are to be deployed, the Armed Forces Special Power Act need to be clamped or promulgated in the area before the army is deployed for maintaining law and order because the situation is beyond control. And when the situation is beyond control and completely disorder, it is not, it may not be possible on the part of the armed force, that armed forces, to control it with mere the lathi. They need the use of higher power and lot of immunities. Okay, to bring the disturbed situation under control. To bring the disturbed situation under control. Okay, Okay. So, under the Act, the central government or the governor of the state or administrator of the union territory can declare the whole or part of the state or union territory as a disturbed area. So, as I told, the primary responsibility of the state government or the union territory government to declare an area as a disturbed area. Okay. An area can be disturbed due to differences or dispute between members of the different religious, racial, language, or okay. So on the basis of religious, racial, language, or regional groups or caste or communities. So if they lead to violence, then it can be called as a the area can be called as a disturbed area. Okay. That gives the army power to search premises and make arrest without warrants. In normally, in case the police want to search any premises or arrest anyone, the police need the warrant issued by a magistrate. But in case for the upside in operation, there is no need of any magistrate giving an warrant or issuing an warrant, so the army can directly search any premises or arrest any person. Okay, this gives. Okay, so the act give the army power to search any premises and arrest without warrant, to use forces even to the extent of causing death, destroy arms, ammunitions, the dumps, then fortifications, shelters, hideouts, and to stop, search, and seize any vehicle. It stipulates that arrested person and the seized property are to made over to the police with the least possible delay. Whatever the army, whomever the army arrest, because army don't have any hazard in custody, so it will hand over to the police, local police. And if it sees anything, it must also be handed over to the police instantly. Okay. So it stipulates that arrested persons and the seized property are to be over to the police with the least possible delay. It offers protection of persons acting in good faith in their official capacity. The prosecution is permitted only after the sanction of the central government. The person arrested or in case any excess is committed, prosecution can start against the person or from the armed forces with the sanction from the central government. Rationale behind imposition of APSA, effective functioning of the security forces. Armed forces are deployed in counter-insurgency, terrorist operations when all other forces available to the state. Okay, so okay, so are the armed forces operating in such an environment require certain special powers and protection in the forms of an enabling law, because normally so they need special power. because they'll operate in very, very difficult circumstances, situation. So normal holding a danda, they cannot control, bring it the situation under control. So they need power, unrestricted power, to have control over it. Okay, so national security, the act play a crucial role in the maintaining law and order in the disturbed area, thus protecting sovereignty and security of the nation. Boosting morale of the forces, APSA boosts the moral, mental well-being of the armed forces for ensuring that public order in the disturbed area. As removal of the act would lead to militants motivating local to file lawsuit against the army. Because when the army operates, it operates in a very difficult circumstances, so it operates ruthlessly. If this act is withdrawn, then the militant may influence the local people to file lawsuit against the armed forces. But when APSA is in operation, no such cases can be filed against the armed forces by the public. Argument against the APSA, violence of the human rights, the exercise of this extraordinary power by the armed forces has often led to allegations of fake encounters and other human rights violations by security forces in disturbed areas, while questioning the indefinite imposition of APSA in certain states. Human rights violations in APSA area are not inquired into and followed by adequate action. Thus, it is against the principle of natural justice. Violation of the rights of remedy. Section 6 of the Act immediately takes away, abrogates, frustrates the right to constitutional remedy, which has been given in Article 32(1) of the Constitution. APSA has outside the power granted in the Constitution since it was declaring a state of emergency without following the constitutional provision of such a declaration. So APSA is like an emergency provision. In APSA is planned, the situation became like emergency, but in emergency it has been clearly mentioned in the Constitution. But APSA is beyond Constitution because it is passed by the Act of Parliament. It is statutory, but not constitutional. Ineffectiveness of the Act. Critics argue that this act has failed in its objective of restoring normalcy in disturbed areas, although being in existence for about 50 years. So 1958 to 2028. So it is almost 70 years. So it is in force, but it has not been able to completely bring the situation under control. So issue of declaration of disturbed area status is very sensitive and may likely to attract public criticism and resistance if proper care is not taken. Okay, so issue of declaration of disturbed area status is very sensitive and may likely attract public criticism and resistance if proper care is not taken while implementing it. So APSA has been under much criticism and even the law commission, the human rights commission, they all have expressed their opinion against APSA. Even in Manipur, the iron lady Iram Sharmila has been under fasting against this act for more than 2 decades. There is much misuse, there is allegation of much misuse, and there is demand from all sides, all quarters to abolish this draconian law, which was in the pre-independence period. but government has not been able to take away this law. Okay, but its proper moderate use is the need of the time. Then the next topic is Odisha want to have its own tiger census. After it announced tiger census of its own, questioning the finding of the All India Tiger Estimation 2022, the Odisha government has unveiled how it plans to carry out the exercise. Tiger census is conducted every 4 year interval, and in 2022, the All India Tiger Census was conducted. Okay, estimation, All India Tiger Estimation was conducted, where the report provided a very poor picture about Odisha, tiger population in Odisha. As a reaction to that, the state government decided, so it confused the report of the the findings of the central report and decided to conduct its own tiger census. The All India Tiger Estimation Report has said more than half the tigers of Odisha had in 2016 have vanished, which with one of its two notified tiger reserves, the Satkosia Tiger Reserve, was left with none. It said Odisha has 20 tigers, down from 45 in 2006. The number of the other reserve, the Simple Tiger Reserve, has doubled from 8 in 2018 to 16 in 2022. Disagreeing with the All India Tiger Estimates methodology, the Odisha government began preparing for a census of its own. That means a tiger census to be conducted by Odisha on its own. Odisha's contention, Odisha's Forest Department official said the figure depicted in All India Tiger Estimation 2022 might not be an accurate reflection of the presence, that habitat occupancy and number of tigers in Odisha. The sampling intensity was relatively low. They said, though the All India Tiger Estimation Protocol mandates that the phase 2 survey be carried out in all forest bits and phase 3 in all potential tiger. Okay, so they said that All India Tiger that estimation protocol mandates that the phase 1 survey be carried out in all forest bits and phase 2 in all potential tiger bearing forest blocks in Odisha. It was carried out only in limited areas. The state claimed that a total of 733 camera traps were deployed in Odisha as against 6,894 and 4,872 in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra respectively, so that the low density of the camera led to this situation. Okay, Odisha Tiger Region, Debrigad Tiger Region. Recent National Tiger Conservation Authority approved Odisha's proposal to declare Debrigad a tiger region. About the Debrigad Tiger Region, located near the Hirakud Dam at Sambalpur, spread over an area of 347 square kilometer, Debrigad Wildlife Sanctuary is one of the famous tourist destinations of Western Odisha. It will become the third tiger region in Odisha after Satkosia, and Debrigad. Okay. So it was declared as a wildlife sanctuary in 1985 and situated in the Debrigad Bargarh district of Odisha near the Hirakud Dam over Mahanadi River. It finds a special mention because of the noted freedom fighter Bir Surendra Sai. During his rebellion against the British, Bir Surendra Sai has base in the Barapathara located within the sanctuary. Fauna is wide variety of animals including leopard, wild boar, bison, sambar, cheetal, and four horned antelope are located sited in the sanctuary. The Similpal tiger region, Similpal derives its name from the simul, silk cotton tree. It was formally designed. It was formally designed as a tiger reserve in 1956 and brought another project tiger in the year 1973. It was declared a biosphere reserve by the Government of India in June 1994. It has been part of the UNESCO World Network of Biosphere Reserves since 2009, means the MAP program, UNESCO. So, UNESCO has a program called MAB, Man and Biosphere. MAB stands for Man and Biosphere. And Similpal is under the MAP program of UNESCO, of UNO, United Nations Economic, Social and Cultural Organization. It is part of the Similpal Kuldia Hadgad Elephant Reserve, popularly known as the Moribund Elephant Reserve, which includes three protected areas: the Similpal Tiger Reserve, the Hadgad Wildlife Sanctuary, and the Kuldia Wildlife Sanctuary. Satkosha Tiger Reserve. Satkosha Tiger Reserve, Bhubaneswar comprises two adjoining sanctuary of central Odisha, namely Satkosha Jar Sanctuary and the Boisipalli Sanctuary. The two sanctuary together covering an area of 963.87 square kilometers were the Tiger Reserve in December 2007. Like the transitional zone extending between the Chotnagpur Plateau and the Deccan Plateau, the Tiger Reserve exhibit endemic life forms of both biotic provinces. Fine. What does Odisha aim of its own survey? The idea is to have a more realistic estimation of the number of tigers in the state and of the forest blocks, habitats occupied by them for closer monitoring and protection. The state government has also said it will carry out the counting more frequently than the All India Tiger Estimation, which is done every 4 years. It claimed that because of the 4 year interval, only adult tigers are counted in each cycle. This leads to the exclusion of the sub-adults, which could have reached adulthood before the next AIT is due. Okay. Where will the survey be carried out? Except for the four coastal districts where tiger are not known to be present, the survey will be carried out in the rest of the Odisha by dividing the state into two categories: tiger reserve and forest blocks outside tiger reserves. How will the survey be done? The survey aims to arrive at yearly estimation of tigers through camera trapping and DNA analysis of the scats, and to prepare a tiger occupancy map of the state based on primary field data. Phase 1, the survey will be carried out in the phases, including a preparatory phase during which second information about tiger is being collected from various sources, and the divisions, ranges, and forest blocks to be taken up for the sign survey are to be finalized. Phase 2, the actual survey starts on the field in the phase 2, as part of which information collected from the secondary sources is validated on the ground. During the sign survey, indirect evidence like pog marks and scratch marks and on the tree, erect marks, animal kills, and the alarm call by the prey animals will be collected along the predetermined trail inside the census unit. Genetic analysis of the scat sample will also be done for identification, species, and sex of the big cats. Phase 3, after the science survey leads to identification of the beast with tiger presence, phase 3 will start with deployment of camera traps. Phase 4, in the fourth and final phase, analysis of the camera trap image and DNA findings from scats will be done before comparison of the numbers. Conclusion, the state government has taken a good step towards getting a more realistic estimation of the big cats. The POGMARK method will help the forest department in better deployment of camera trap, judicious deployment of forest personnel, and in creating micro plans for tiger conservation, where the threat is more for the tigers. So the forest department can emphasize on those areas, knowing very well that so these are the area where the threat to the big cat is more. The census move is welcome, but the success of it depends on the sincerity of the forest officers during different phases of the survey. Instead of the 4-year gap in case of the AITE, the state survey should take place annually. Okay, then it will be better. Then the next topic is about the Toto language. Very interesting thing, Toto language. What is this Toto language? Okay, so a language spoken by only 1600 people in regions of West Bengal, but in Bhutan is getting a dictionary. So it is called the Toto language. Toto is a member of the Sino-Tibetan language families, Kiranti branch. Toto is a tribal language spoken by the Toto people and written in Bengali script. It is primarily spoken in Totopara, a village in West Bengal's Alipurduar district in the northeast of India. Toto speakers can also be found in West Bengal's Jalpaiguri districts. So Alipurduar districts and Jalpaiguri districts where the Toto speakers are there. Toto, which is listed as a severely endangered language, had approximately 1400 speakers in 2014. Most families speak Toto at home, but their children are educated in Bengali at school, and Bengali and Nepali are becoming more widely spoken by the public. The dictionary is a step towards preserving the language which has previously only been spoken by putting its vocabulary in print. According to a 2018 UNESCO research, 42 Indian languages are on the verge of extinction. Less than 10,000 persons pronounce these words. According to UNESCO standards, any language spoken by fewer than 10,000 people is potentially endangered. The prime majority of the vanishing languages come from indigenous tribal populations distributed over India. Language is more than just a means of communicating idea and feelings. It also carries cultural values and indigenous knowledge. Language extinction will only lead to a reduction in cultural diversity and an increase in cultural uniformity in the among the people. Then the next is World Heart Day. Every year on September 29th, World Heart Day is commemorated. Okay, so to promote awareness about the heart disease and preventive action that can help prevent and manage cardiovascular illness. World Heart Day 2023 theme is Huge Heart, No Heart. The World Heart Federation and the World Health Organization established World Health Day in 1999. World Heart Day was originally observed on the final Sunday of September, with the first commemoration taking place on 24 September 2000. According to World Heart Federation, World Heart Day educates people throughout the world about the that CVD, cardiovascular diseases. CVD stands for cardiovascular diseases, including heart disease and stroke, which claim 18.6 million lives each year, and promotes the activities that individuals may take. It tries to motivate individuals to take action by educating them on how risk factors such as cigarette use, poor diet, physical inactivity can prevent at least 80% of the premature death from heart disease and strokes. Okay, then the next is the Global Innovation Index 2023. India retains 40th rank out of 132 economies in the Global Innovation Index 2023 ranking. As Global Innovation Index 2023, it is published by the World Intellectual Property Organization. It is a reliable tool for government across the world to access the innovation-led social and economic changes in their respective countries. This year, the Niti Aayog, in partnership with the Confederation of Indian Industry and the World Intellectual Property Organization (WIPO), is hosting virtually the India launch of the Global Innovation Index 2023 on 29 September 2023. Okay. Key findings: the Global Innovation Index is built on a rich database data set, the collection of 80 indicators from international public and private sources, going beyond the traditional measures of innovation, since the definition of innovation has broadened. Top five countries: Switzerland, Sweden, United States, United Kingdom, and Singapore. It listed India as among the 21 economies that outperformed for a 13th consecutive year on innovation relation to level of development. It stated that India, Iran, Philippines, Turkey, Vietnam, and Indonesia are among the economies with the global innovation top 65 that climbed fastest in the ranking over the last decade. India holds top ranking within the Central and South Asian region for human capital and research, business sophistication, and knowledge and technology output. Strong indicators including ICT, okay, a service, so information communication service exports, it is fifth place. Venture capital received sixth. Graduate in science and engineering 11, and global corporate R&D investors 13th position. Key fact about the World Intellectual Property Organization WIPO: it works with the vision of encouraging creative activity and promoting the protection of intellectual property throughout the world. WIPO is one of the 15 specialized agencies of the United Nations. Currently, there are 193 members of World Intellectual Property Organization. So, United Nations Organization has also 193 members, and WIPO also has 193 members. But its headquarters is in Vienna, Geneva, in Switzerland. Then, coming to the question, the Mesolithic rock cut architecture of India. Okay, so the Mesolithic rock cut architecture of India not only reflects the cultural life of the time but also a fine aesthetic sense comparable to modern painting. Critically evaluate this comment. Depiction of animals, hunting scenes, and Mesolithic sites have also a painting of social life, sexual activity, childbirth, rearing of children, and burial ceremony. The symmetry of artifacts, evidence of attention to the detail of tool shape, activities, etc. In archaeology, rock art is human-made marking placed in the natural stone. It is largely synonymous with the parietal art, a global phenomenon. Rock art is found in many culturally diverse regions of the world. Indian rock cut architecture is mostly religious in nature. It has been produced in many contexts throughout human history, although the majority of the rock art that have been ethnographically recorded has been produced as a part of the rituals. Such artwork are often divided into three forms: the petroglyphy, which is carved into the rock surface; pictographs, which are painted into the surface; and earth figures uh, engraved into the ground. The oldest known rock art dates from the Upper Paleolithic period, having been found in Europe, Australia, Asia, and Africa. Archaeologists studying these artworks believe that they lived, they likely had magico-religious significance. Which one? This rock art have magico-religious significance. Singrauli is the 50th district in the state of Madhya Pradesh, which cover a region comprising of the east part of Siddhi district of Madhya Pradesh and the adjoining region of the Sonebhadra district in UP. Historically, the Singrauli belonged to the princely states of Rewa, a part of the Bhagelakhand region. The Singrauli has a history spanning from the emergence of prehistoric man to the present age of industrialization. The region with abundance of natural and mineral resources. Due to abundance of mineral resources and thermal power plants, it is nicknamed as the Urjanchal, the land of energy. While modern industry dominated the region today, the history of Singoli is as colorful as the interesting as its promising future. The Ajanta caves in Maharashtra are 30 rock-cut Buddhist temples that span 6 centuries, beginning in the 1st century BC. They are carved into the vertical side of the gorge, locating in the hills of the Sahyadri Mountains. Similar to the Barabara caves, the Ajanta caves are situated close to the main trade routes. A great deal of decorative sculptures, intricately carved columns and reliefs, including uh, Cronage and pilsters are found here. The Ellora caves are built between the 5th and the 10th centuries. These caves are made of 12 Buddhist and 17 Hindu and 5 Jaina rock cut temple exhibited out of the Chandranduli hill, etc. The rock shelters of the Bhimbetka are a repository of rock paintings within natural rock shelters with archaeological evidence of Indian art and culture, tree habitations, and lithic industry from the Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods through the Chalcolithic to the medieval period. They are located within the designated Ratapani Wildlife Sanctuary in an area of abundant natural resources and shelter. The shelter exhibit the earliest trace. Okay, Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods through the Chalcolithic and medieval period, they are located within the designated Ratapani Wildlife Sanctuary in an area of abundant natural resources and shelters. The shelters exhibit the earliest trace of human life in India. Its rock paintings are among the world's oldest. The topmost architectural element of the building, projecting forward for the main wall, originally used. Okay, a medium used to blind pigments in the painting. Okay, a rectangle. So the topmost artificial element of a building projecting forward from the main walls, originally used as a means of directing rainwater away from the building's wall. A rectangular column that projects partially from the wall to which it is attached. It gives the appearance of a support, but is only for decoration. A medium used to bind pigments in the painting, as well as the associated artistic techniques. There are more than 1,500 rock temples in India, most of which are religious in nature, adorned with decorative paintings and exquisite stone carvings, reflecting a very high level of craftsmanship. Bhimbetka is an ideal location to view rock paintings of the Mesolithic man. People really interested in this part of history when visiting Bhimbetka, but not but also visit places around this region where also more such specimens are available within the region districts with its orthid. The rock center of the Bhimbetka are in the foothill of the Vindhya mountain on the southern edge of the central Indian plateau. Within massive sandstone outcrops have comparatively dense forests are five clusters of natural rock shelters displaying painting and appear to date from the Mesolithic period right through to the historical period. The cultural traditions of the inhabitants of the 21 villages adjacent to the site bear a strong resemblance to those represented in the rock painting. Then come to the question. The reference to armed forces special power consider the following statement. It gives power to the army, state and central police forces to shoot to kill, search houses and destroy any property that is likely to be used by insurgent in area declared as disturbed by the Home Ministry. It is of a colonial origin, right? The Disturbed Area Act is a mini version of the APSA as it confers the same power to the armed forces to take control of the state in order to curb violence. All the three are correct. The state wild population report is released by the United Nations Population Fund UNPF. Then consider the following statement regarding the Aging Report 2023 published by the United Nations Population Fund, India in collaboration with the International Institute for Population Sciences, IIPS. Indian population, so this is right. Indian population aged 80 plus year will grow at a rate of 217% between 2022 and 2022 and 2050. So here both are correct. Then, consider the following statement. Ammonia is a pungent gas that is widely used to make agricultural fertilizer. That is right. Green ammonia production is where the process of making ammonia is 100% renewable and carbon free. They both are correct. Consider the following statement about the respect to travel for life program. The program is a sectoral program under the mission life. That is correct. The program launched by Minister of Culture. So, and it will be implemented in partnership with the Minister of Environment and United Nations Environment Program. Two are correct, not the two. Consider the following statement with respect to India Aging Report 2023. India has the world's highest old population. That is incorrect. Kerala had the lowest old population. Incorrect. It is joined already by the Nitya and the Minister of Health, jointly released by the Minister of by Nitya and the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. So all the three are incorrect. That means none is correct. Consider the following statement. The following is the best description of the Manish Mestria that was in news recently. What? Manish Mestria. Okay. So it is a newly discovered pangolin species. Following statement with respect to World Heart Day, every year September 28th is observed as the Heart Day, right? So World Heart Day 2023 theme is huge heart, no heart, no. So only one is correct. Toto is a member of the Sino-Tibetan language family, Kiranti branch. So it is correct. Toto is the tribal language from the Toto people and writing Bengali script. That is right. So both are correct. So incorrect means none. D. M.S. Swaminathan, father of Indian Green Revolution, passed away at the age of 98. He is known as the father of Indian Green Revolution, right? He was also awarded the Roman Magsaysay Award in 1971 and the Albert Einstein World Science Award in 1986. Both are correct. Thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly.